What's also I found interesting with the pickup stuff, like especially from a guy coming from like you have no skills on how to approach women and talk to women. Like they're called pickup artists for a reason. In terms of they teach you stuff to be able to actually pick up women, and some of those things, some of those things can actually be helpful in terms of like, not being so afraid of the women and being able to know how to talk to them. But it's called pickup artists. It's not called relationship artists. And what I found, because even in Neil Strauss's book, he talks about like Mystery doing these things and getting these girls, but then like he tries to get into relationships, and then the long-term prospects of that doesn't work. Because whatever he's doing for pickup stuff, again, he's masking part of himself, so he can't keep it going long-term. But also, they're still trying to do pickup stuff when it's time for relationship stuff. And it ends up like completely falling apart every time. So those guys were never really good at keeping women long-term. But in terms of like, hey, I'm at a party picking up a woman or multiple women, I know what to do to get this woman to hook up with me a couple of times. Fantastic. But like, it doesn't bode well for your long-term prospects.
That's a great point, and something that I talk about when I go through some of the material around mindset stuff. I make this exact point, right? So, and to me, it all comes down to fundamentally two different ways of viewing the world, two different life philosophies. One, which is the very, very common in society for numerous reasons, is the outside in philosophy. So most people, and society and the media and everything and culture encourages this. Most people are walking around with a view that how the outside world is and how other people perceive me should affect how I feel about myself. Right? It's coming from outside in. And this is tied to a core mind program that I call the ego, right? The ego, something that is designed to keep us safe by monitoring how other people are perceiving us. Because remember, for hundreds of thousands of years, for most of human evolution, we lived in tribes of a few hundred people, where the continued survival of the tribe was ensured by everybody following the rules and cooperating with each other. So if you acted in a way that was not cooperative with everybody else, for example, going hunting, shooting a bison or whatever, and then being like, oh, I'm going to just keep this bison for myself, it's mine. If you did that, you're threatening everybody else's survival. And so the punishment for that was ostracism, being cast out of the tribe, where it's very likely, even if you survived on your own, you wouldn't procreate. So to our genetics, at a fundamental core level, breaking a social rule and being judged negatively by other people is the equivalent of death. And this is fundamentally the core root of where social anxiety comes from. It's the root cause of why we feel why we are afraid of rejection. And it's the root cause of why consistently, when surveyed, humans rate the fear of public speaking number one over the fear of death. Because it's fundamentally a fear that comes from our ego of being judged negatively by the people around us. And this ties into why I think mystery method is often very damaging, is because it's only reinforcing that. It's saying, yes, your value, how other people perceive you, is important. You must manage it. You must maintain it. And that only feeds and creates even more anxiety.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm.